Hello everyone, I again welcome you all in the video series of Raspberry Pi. So till now we have seen that how we have connected our Raspberry Pi to the LED, how we have controlled the LEDs, how we use the pulse PWM to gradually increase the brightness of the LED, and also we have seen that how we have connected our Raspberry Pi to the IR module, that is infrared module, okay, for detection of some object in front of the IR sensor. So now in this video we are going to see the temperature and humidity monitoring through the Raspberry Pi. So for temperature and humidity monitoring we will use another sensor that is known as DTH11 sensor. So DTH11 sensor is the sensor that is used for monitoring or sensing the temperature or humidity in the surrounding, from the surrounding environment. Okay. So there are basically two types of sensor, DTH11 and DTH22. Both are used for the sensing. We have to configure it in the program that which particular sensor we are using for the temperature or humidity monitoring. So in this case, in this video, I have taken DTH11 sensor, that is known as digital temperature and humidity sensor. Okay, this is the figure of this DTH sensor. Okay. This is the pin diagram that I already explained you. I have included this pin diagram of this GPIO pin diagram in every video because we have to use the GPIO pins, power pins and the ground pins to connect the different types of sensor to the Raspberry Pi. That's why I have included this pin diagram of the Raspberry Pi in my video. Now let's see the connection. So this is the circuit diagram for interfacing temperature and humidity sensor. Here you can say that this is our DTH11 sensor. This sensor is having three pins, S, V and G. Okay. So the G pin, that is known as ground pin. So this ground pin is connected. I have connected it to the pin number 6, and obviously pin number 6 is also a ground pin. So in the figure you can see that pin number 6 is the ground pin, okay, in the Raspberry Pi. So here you can connect to any, not only 6, you can connect to any ground pin. For example, pin number 14, pin number 20, pin number 25, pin number 9, pin number 30, any ground pin you can use to connect the ground end of the DTH sensor. Okay. Now V is here. V shows the power supply, so it needs 5 volt of power supply. That's why I have connected this V to the pin number 2. Okay, this is pin number 1, this is pin number 2, this is pin number 3, this is pin number 4, this is pin number 5, this is pin number 6. So we have to connect it to the pin number 2. So here you can see in the figure that pin number 2 is the 5 volt power supply. Also you can connect, use pin number 4 for 5 volt of supply, no problem. You can use any of these two pins, pin number 2 or pin number 4. Okay. Now this S pin is known as the data pin. Here we can get the data from the DTH sensor to the Raspberry Pi. So this data pin, that in this slide you can see that I have connected this data pin to the pin number 3. Here you can see that this S pin is connected to the pin number 3. This is pin number 3. Okay. This is GPIO pin number 2. Okay. So you can connect to any GPIO pin. For example, I have connected it to the pin number 3, that is GPIO pin number 2. So instead of using pin number 3, you can use pin number 5, pin number 7, any GPIO pin you can use for getting the input from the DTH sensor. Okay. Now before going to the program module, we have to include we have to download and install a new library into our Python in your Python. Okay, so we need another library that names is Adafruit underscore Python underscore DTH, that is digital humidity and temperature sensor. So to run this DTH11 uh, temperature sensor, we need this particular Adafruit Python DTH library. So to download it, we will simply what to do? We will go to the Google, okay, and Google we will type Adafruit DTH11 Python library. Okay. Oh, okay. By skill, and another by skill. Oh, yeah. So after that, after searching the Adafruit DTH Python library, you will have to open the first link, that is GitHub link. Just click here, and after clicking, you will be migrated, will be navigated to this page, and here you can see this is Adafruit Python DTH library. So you have to download it. To download it, you have to go to this code, and after that we will move to the download zip. So we will download the zip file. Okay. Okay. So zip file I have already downloaded it. Okay. Okay. Now this has been downloaded. Okay. Now this has been downloaded. So I will show you how to install it whenever I will download into the Python in the Raspberry Pi. Till now I have downloaded it on the in my laptop. So when I will use this Python library, Python, then I will download and I will use it. So what you have to do, that you have just download it, extract the zip file, and after extracting, copy that extracted file to the Pi folder, and after that open the terminal, that is prompt, and after that you have to install the setup file over there. So I will show you whenever I will use this library for the programming. Okay, and now this is the program for humidity and the temperature sensor. So what this program consists, the first line is the import Adafruit DTH, because we need this library for the working of the digital humidity and temperature sensors. We have to include it, Adafruit underscore DTH. Okay, library. And of course I have used rpi.gpio as the GPIO, because we are getting the input from the GPIO pin number 2. That's why we have to include this rpi.gpio library. Here I have set the mode not for the board pins but as the BCM pins. Okay, so I have already told you there are two modes when you are using the Raspberry Pi, whether you can use the board pin numbers or the BCM pin numbers. Okay, for example, here you can see that this is, if you are talking GPIO pin number 2, if I have set it as a board mode, in that case this is the pin number 3. But if I am using it in BCM mode, in that case I will use GPIO 2, not pin number 3. Okay, so for example, let I have written here 2, that means I am telling this Raspberry Pi that I am going to use GPIO pin number 2, not board pin number 2. Okay, clear? So we have to set the mode of the Raspberry Pi GPIO pins, and after that while true means we are running the infinite loop, means until unless we stop the program, that sensor node will be detect the temperature and humidity continuously from the surrounding environment. Now I have used two variables. Uh, temperature I have used temp, and for humidity I have used HUM variables. And this Adafruit underscore DST dot read underscore retry is basically used for the reading the this is a function that we use for reading the temperature and humidity from the DTS sensor. And here we have to mention that which particular sensor we are using. So we are using DTH11 sensor, not DTH22 sensor. Both sensor can be used for monitoring the uh, temperature and humidity. So you have to mention here that which sensor basically you are using. So I am using DTH11. That's why I have mentioned Adafruit underscore DHT dot DHT11. And of course I am using the GPIO pin number 2. That's why I have mentioned 2 here. And this and the temperature and humidity will be recorded into this temp and HUM variables. And after that we want to see the temperature and humidity. Thus we give the command print temperature comma humidity and the name of the variable, and the values will be printed on our screen. Okay. So in the coming video we will see the circuit diagram and the program of the temperature and humidity monitoring. Hello everyone. Now I am going to show you the connections for monitoring the humidity and the temperature of the surrounding environment. So for the connection I need obviously the Raspberry Pi. So here this is my Raspberry Pi. Okay, and this one is the DTH, that is digital humidity and temperature module, or the sensor that can be used to sense the surrounding environment temperature and humidity. Okay, so this sensor is having three pins or the three edges, uh, three ends basically. So the first is showing the positive, the last one is showing the negative, and the middle one is showing the out. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, now so I will connect the positive pin to the VCC pin, the negative one to the ground pin, and the middle one obviously to the any GPIO pin. Okay, clear? So for that I will use again the breadboard. So here this is my breadboard, and I will put this temperature and humidity sensor into the board like that. Okay. So I have put that this sensor into the breadboard. Now there are three lines. Okay, the VCC, ground, and the GPIO pin line, that is the output line, or you can say the data line. So obviously we need three different wires to connect with this. Okay. So here I am using these three wires. I will use this blue one for the VCC connection, this black one for the ground connection, and this green for the data lines or for the GPIO pin connection. You can use any type of wire, but for remembering I will always try to use the black color for the ground one. No problem, you can use any wire for any connection. Okay, so let's these obviously these are the male to female wire that I have already used earlier. So again, okay, this is the positive one. So I will keep it here. This is data line. So this I will keep here because I have already told you the vertical lines that are having the same connection. Okay, in the breadboard. Okay, and this is the negative line. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, no. Sorry, sorry. So I will use this blue line, blue wire for the VCC connection and this black for the ground connection. Okay. So let's connect with our Raspberry Pi. So pin number pin number 2 is used for the VCC connection. So I will use pin number 2 means this pin. Okay. Pin number 6 for the ground. So I will use this. First of all, I will connect the data lines, that is GPIO pin. So I will connect it to pin number 3, that is GPIO pin number 2. You can see it. Okay. And this is the ground pin. So I will connect it to pin number 6. Okay. So I have connected three wires. First, the positive connection of the temperature sensor to the pin number 2, that is the VCC pin, ground with the pin number 6, and the GPIO connection with pin number 3, that is GPIO 2. Okay. Now the connection has been over now, and now we will give the power supply. So I am giving the power supply to this uh, uh, USB wire. Okay. So I will give the power through my laptop. Okay. So simply I will use the USB connection of my laptop and give the power to the Raspberry Pi. You can hold in your hand also, no problem. Yeah. So I have given the connection to our Raspberry Pi. Now we will switch to the programming part. Okay. Hello everyone. Now we will switch to the programming part for sensing the temperature and humidity from the surrounding environment. So for that, I've already told you that you have to download a library, that is a library of Adafruit. Okay. So we will start to download it. So here we will write simply open the Google. Okay. Now here simply write Adafruit DTH11 Python library. Yeah, Python library. Yeah. So in the search result, click on the first link, that is GitHub link. Okay, click here. Okay. After that, you will navigate it to this page. I have already explained this. This is to you. Now click on the code, and after that click on the download zip. Okay, here you can see that we are having Adafruit Python DST library. So we will click here and download the zip file. Okay, so I think it has been downloaded. Please check in the download folder. Yeah, so in download folder we have downloaded the Adafruit Python DST master.zip. So what we have to do next, we have to extract this extract here. Yeah, it's extracted. Okay, now what you have to do that, you have to copy that cut, use cut and copy into the Pi library or Sheesh library, whatever you have kept the name at the time of the configuration. Okay, so you have to keep here. Okay, so I have named my Raspberry Pi as a Sheesh. That's why I have put this Adafruit DST library into the Sheesh folder. Okay, so whenever you open this Adafruit DST master, you will get these folders and files. So what you have to do that next, you have to set up this file. You have to run this file setup.python. Okay, so for setup you have to click on the command prompt. Okay, you have to go to the shell, open the shell. After opening the shell, write the command cd and the path of this file. The path of this file is this. Okay, so I will copy it, paste here, enter. Okay, now you have entered into the correct path. Now to install this, you have to use the command sudo setup. Let me check the command. What will the command? Sudo python 3. Okay, sudo python 3 setup. Okay, sudo, because you are using python 3, python 3, sorry, setup dot py and install. We will add this command and installation will start. Okay, now the installation has been over. This library has been installed into our Python library storage. Okay, just close it. Now we will move, close all the folders, close this window and also close this window. Now we will move to the Python ID. So I will click on the Raspberry Pi, then I will go to the programming, then I will click the Python ID. Okay, click the new file. Okay, so I start the programming. Okay, first of all we have to import same as the RPI GPIO.RPI.GPO because we are using the pin number 3 for, means that is GPIO pin number 2 for getting the data from the sensor. So we have to import RPI.GPIO as GPIO. Okay. So this file is included because we are using GPIO pins for the input output operation. Now I will import another file that we have just downloaded, ADAFRUIT Adafruit underscore DST. Okay, now we'll import Adafruit underscore DST file. Now we will set the mode. So to set the mode, I will hit the command gpio dot set mode. Why we use set mode? Because either we are using our Raspberry Pi as a board pin numbering or using as a BCM, that is GPIO pin numbering. So this time I am going to use this Raspberry Pi as the BCM mode, that is the GPIO pin number. So I will write GPIO dot BCM. Okay, enter. Now while true, I have written this time capital letter in true. Okay. In the last program, I have used a small letter in true, a small letter T in true, and we got the error. Okay. So while true, colon and enter, and we will write the command. We will use two variables, like for example, I will use HUM for humidity and TEMP for temperature. That will be equal to ADAFRUIT. Adafruit is the name of the library, and we are going to read the library. So I will use Adafruit DST underscore DST dot read. Okay, Adafruit underscore DST dot read underscore retry. This is the format to read the library. Okay, now Adafruit FRUIT, ठीक है, underscore DST dot DST11. Here I am specifying that we are using the Adafruit library for the DST11, not for DST22. I have already told you there are two type sensors that are used for monitoring the humidity and the temperature, DST11 and DST22. So this time I am using DST11. That's why I have to mention that we are using DST11 instead of using DST22. Okay, comma pin number 2, that is GPIO pin number, and board pin number is basically 3. So here I am using pin number 2. Okay, so I have written the command adafruit underscore DST dot read underscore retry, bracket में adafruit underscore DST dot DST11 comma 2. This is the command that we have to write it. Now I will simply printing the words on the output, so that we can get easily that whether we are sensing the temperature. This is the temperature and this is the humidity. So I will use the humidity and comma temperature to identify it best basically. Okay, and then we write printf. What are the two variables? HUM, comma, I will give some gap also between them, and temp. Okay, so we are getting the temperature, humidity, and the temperature. Okay, now that is over. I think let's save it. Let taking temperature. Okay, now run the program. See the output. Yeah, there is some problem. humidity and temperature. I have written in the quoted form. Not print. It's a print operation, not printf. I've written wrongly. I use the syntax of C. A, yeah. So here you can see that the sorry the Raspberry Pi is constantly monitoring the humidity and the temperature from the surrounding environment. Okay, that's fine. So you can do it also. Okay. So the next program will be the for the monitoring of the any object in front of the Raspberry Pi, that is the infrared sensor that we use for detecting any object in front of the that sensor. Okay. Okay.